Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HALACHA. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Tuesday, 27th day of October, 9th day of Cheshvan. Here we go. Today is a halacha that's it's more like academic, and you don't really have to know it for your day-to-day life, but it's fascinating. Fascinating to me. I hope it's fascinating to you. Here's the halacha. You know that at the time of the Beis Hamikdash, the rule always was, God tells us this in the Torah, Al kol karbancha takriv melach. There should be salt that goes up with all of the sacrifices on the Mizbeach, on the altar. So the question was raised long ago and discussed by the Sefer Halachos Katanos, and his question was, if there ever comes a situation where you don't have salt available, could you substitute and put something else on the carbon, on the sacrifice, like sugar? They're both, granular in the way they feel and act. So if you don't have salt to put on your carbon, could you put sugar on your carbon? Now, some of you real smart out there know that we are specifically told by Hashem never to put honey on a carbon, so it would seem almost as bad to put something like sugar on a carbon. So the Sefer Halachos Katanos discusses that and talks about just, theoretically, whether such a thing could be done. Okay, that's never going to apply to you in your life, but watch how it starts to get interesting. So following up on that, there is a sefer called the Ikrei Hadas, which discusses this one, which gets much more close to halach for people like us today, and it's this question. So what if it happens that you need salt to sprinkle on the meat that you're koshering? Mostly this is done in our butcher shops today. They use coarse salt and they sprinkle it on the meat, and the salt draws the blood out of the meat. And, that's very, very necessary. Otherwise, the meat is not kosher. And the Ikrei Hadas talked about whether if you ever ran out of coarse salt, could you replace it with sugar and have sugar try to draw out the blood from the meat? And he talks about it as to whether such a thing could be considered. So ultimately the answer is no. Absolutely no. The only way that we kasher meat by taking the blood out of it is by salting the meat in a special way. When I was younger, people used to do this in their homes, but now it's pretty much always done at the butcher shops, and they do this and prepare this for you. So I'm just really telling you something academically, although there is a mild discussion in the poskim as to whether sugar could replace salt in doing this. The answer halachically is absolutely not. You have to use salt for these purposes. When the Sefer Halachos Katanos was talking about whether sugar could replace salt, that was just in the law of quote-unquote salting a carbon before it goes up on the altar. But it was never meant to be anything about sugar being used to draw blood out of meat, because it just doesn't work. Only salt halachically accomplishes that for us, and sugar can never, ever accomplish that for us. Why did you need to know that? Most of you out there listening to this never kasher your own meat, and are certainly probably never going to have to do this with sugar, and you can't. Just fascinated me when I read it, and I wanted to teach it to you. So we forever will only kasher our meat halachically with salt in the very proper way that it has to be done. Mostly the butcher shops take care of this for us today. And now you know, and you're better educated. Thanks for listening. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.